Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Speak to Influence podcast. I'm Karen Sachs. Today, we're going to talk about a new communications project. Hey, Micah, welcome. I am so glad that you are here today. We are going to be talking about a new communications problem. It is the problem that AI can make you sound smarter, but it can't make you sound any more credible. And that is a huge problem. Now, right, we all know that AI can help us write emails and presentations. It can improve our mediocre ideas to make them sound pretty amazing. It can do presentations and ads and articles and all kinds of things. And it makes us sound very smart and very polished. But what happens when someone looks you in the eye and says, "What do you think?" That is when the rubber meets the road. And that's when you can't take 10 minutes and go and do a prompt to AI and say, "I don't know what I think. Tell me what to think." That's when you have to do it yourself. That's when you need to know what you're talking about. When you have to be able to respond in real time, organize your thoughts. That's when you have to really listen to the people around you and be able to adapt. That's when you need to be able to read a room, defend yourself if someone challenges you, and listen. And I mean really listen. One of the things that AI has given us is that it has equalized the playing field and given all of us the same information and giving us the opportunity to all sound polished. But there's more to it than that. There were two studies that were done earlier this year, and they both introduced something called the AI penalty. And basically, what that did was it said that while AI does improve the quality of the content, it makes the producer of that content seem less believable, less authentic, and less trustworthy. So that's why it is so critical when the playing field is the same for all of us. What do you need to do to sound remarkable? And that's where you need to step up and be able to think on your feet, to explain what you're thinking simply and not in a complicated fashion. That's where you need to be able to organize your thoughts and stay calm, to respond and read the room, where you need to be able to adjust and explain your reasoning, defend yourself, and stay calm when everything else is going haywire. AI is a wonderful communications tool. It has given us huge advantages. So this is not the human skill against AI. This is the human skill plus AI. And to show that that's true, earlier this year, there was a global employer survey that showed that global employers were still looking at communication skills, problem solving, and adaptability as the key indicators that they were looking for in new business school graduates. So those things have not changed. The only thing that has been added is an interest and knowledge in how to work with AI. So again, this is not human skills against AI, it's human skills plus AI. So with AI competency getting us into the conversation, it's that human credibility that's going to show us how long and how far we're going to go. So if you have great credibility, what are the pillars that help you build that and maintain that credibility? And first and foremost is having a point of view, not regurgitating facts that you learned from AI, but actually knowing what you think and being able to explain those facts simply for other people to understand, to provide useful information out of those facts, to help people understand what really matters, what are the next steps, what's important, and what do you recommend out of those facts. So having a point of view is critical. The next thing is being able to explain complex ideas in useful ways. You want to be able to explain things simply. So many people think that if they take an idea but they explain it simply, that somehow that makes them look dumb and not as smart as they really are. But that's not true. When you are clear, you are showing people how competent you are. The third thing is to be able to say, I don't know. Competent and credible communicators don't know everything, and they don't pretend that they do. They are prepared to say, I don't know. And you can do that in a couple of ways. You can say that, like, I don't have the answer to that, but here's what I do know. Or you can say, I need to verify that answer first before I give you an explanation. The other pillar that's involved in credibility is practicing unscripted communication, not having every word prepared that you're going to say, being able to think on your feet. People need to know what you really think. Again, going back to what is your point of view? You need to practice being able to answer questions while somebody's staring at you. You need to be able to communicate the main point clearly and share useful information to the listener, not just the technical garbage and data that you learned from AI. So you need to be able to speak unscripted. And finally, you need to use AI as a coach, not a crutch. You need to be able to prompt AI by saying, here's what I think. Help me say it more clearly. As opposed to, I don't know what I think about this. Please give me the answer. That is only giving you a safety net. It's not helping you communicate. You're outsourcing your communication, and you don't want to do that. So, again, the pillars for credibility are having a point of view, being able to explain things simply, being able to have unscripted communications, being able to say, I don't know, and using AI as a coach, not as a crutch. I have a challenge for you this week. That challenge is to take something that you know well and then out loud explain it in 60 seconds, not 5 minutes, 60 seconds. That will force you to be concise. And then at the end of that 60 seconds, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. Did you communicate the main point clearly? The other questions are things like, did you ramble? Did you provide useful information or just data and facts? Did you sound like you knew what you were talking about, or were you just regurgitating information? And after you've answered those questions, say it out loud again for 60 more seconds and try to correct those issues. You need to be able to sound like an authority yourself without the help of AI. You need to be able to think on your feet, talk unscripted. You have a point of view, and before AI, you were able to share it without a problem. So use AI as a coach, not a crutch. Don't outsource your thinking to it. Use it as a resource because you're smarter than that. AI can help you find better words, but credibility still belongs to you, and only you, a human, can make sure that you know that. I hope this information has been helpful, and I'd like you to do two things for me. First of all, go over to Skool, that's SKOOL.com. Look for Act Like a Great Communicator and subscribe for free so that you can have these types of practical information every day for free. And the next thing is that my podcast on Tuesdays is moving to 7 p.m. this week. It will no longer be at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's moving to Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I hope to see you, Micah, and I hope to see everyone who's watching the replay on Substack watching me live. Until then, have a great new week. I hope it's profitable for you. And remember, you're a great communicator. It makes a difference. It provides more opportunities, including leadership and income. So keep getting better every day. Thanks. Have a wonderful new week, everyone.